And good evening, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for naturopathic medicine, curative medicine, and medical freedom, which we are a long, long way away from. And I am of the opinion that Bobby Kennedy will not fix that. All that Bobby Kennedy is going to do is clean up the corruption inside of conventional medicine, giving people easier, more affordable access to the leading cause of death in the United States, leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, and a system of medicine which does not teach its doctors how to cure anything. The only thing conventional allopathic MD directed pharmaceutical centrist medicine is good for is surgery when it's necessary, military field medicine, trauma care. That's the wheelhouse of MD directed allopathic, materialistic, Machiavellian, monopolistic medicine. Period. Hard stop. End of story. The reason that we have a chronic disease epidemic is because the medical doctors have been in exclusive control over the development and the delivery of medicine since the early 1900s. They exist in a self policing, self regulating monopoly, which does not give room to any of its competition. The only reason that the medical doctors maintain their position at the top is because they legislated themselves there 110 years ago, and they are not giving up their position. I mean, outside of weathermen and professional baseball players, it's the only profession that can consistently fail and keep a job. Right? In baseball, if you bat 250, you're a legend, which means you strike out 3 times out of 4. If you're a weather person, you get it wrong all the freaking time and you still have a job. While the medical doctors have been in exclusive control of the development and the delivery of medicine, Alzheimer's through the roof, autism through the roof. Just as many people get heart disease now as they did 30 years ago. Arthritis is on the rise. A third of the country obese. Chronic disease is escalating. It is not getting better. And it's not because of chemtrails. It's not because of a voodoo curse. It's not because of monopolistic skullduggery in the pharmaceutical industry. It's because the system of medicine itself that the MDs are trained in is insufficient to the cause. It is the wrong dog for the hunt because they are not taught how to cure disease, and they do not understand the nature of the human body, period. My colleagues and I do. But my profession is only licensed and regulated in 24 states, and it's a felony to practice naturopathic medicine in Tennessee. It's a misdemeanor in Florida. And let's be honest, most people don't even know how to pronounce naturopathy, let alone know what a naturopathic doctor can do. And to make matters worse, the medical schools that teach naturopathic medicine are no longer teaching naturopathic medicine. They're teaching a strange hybridized version of naturopathic medicine, which is disaffectionately referred to as green allopathic medicine. And the medical school that I went to, Bastyr University, has filed for bankruptcy. And they've discarded the president, and the person who's going to replace the president as interim president is the person who founded the university in the first place, Dr. Joe Pizzorno, who is not trained in naturopathic therapeutics. He's one of the reasons that the university failed, because they don't teach naturopathic medical therapeutics. They don't. And the person that they've hired to become the interim or the academic dean wrote a white paper a few years ago, saying homeopathy should not be included in naturopathic education. It's a shit show. So I and a handful of my colleagues are your only hope. By the way, the people who practice real naturopathic medicine are members of a 501c3 platinum rated nonprofit educational institution called the Naturopathic Medicine Institute. You should go to the Naturopathic Medicine Institute frequently. You should see what their offerings are. You should see if there is a member who has an office near you. You can find an inventory of Naturopathic Medicine Institute member naturopathic doctors in the footer section of every page on this website. This is an uphill struggle, ladies and gentlemen. Most people are completely unaware of any of these distinctions. And most people, because of 100 years of socialization, are still of the ridiculous opinion that MD-directed medicine is the best system of medicine the world has to offer, and they genuflect at its altar every day, and that is a game that they will lose every single time. But don't get me started. This is my live Q&A for my subscribers and their lucky guests. If you are watching this from YouTube, please navigate to leavebigpharmabehind.com, become a subscriber. It is only subscribers on my website that I answer questions for. I'm advertising this on YouTube. I'm advertising this on Rumble by way of generating excitement and interest and, clicks. I'm not going to answer questions on Rumble. I'm not going to answer questions on YouTube, but I will answer questions here for my subscribers. This event, which I do twice a week, is exclusively for my subscribers. So what are you waiting for? Navigate to leavebigpharmabehind.com, become a subscriber, and let me give you a guided tour of the undiscovered country by most of licensed and regulated, science-based, clinically verified, safe, and effective naturopathic curative medical therapeutics. Let's go to the chat room right now. Please understand you are not to confuse our time together this evening as a doctor-patient relationship, because it's not, nor are there any guarantees that my recommendations will be 100% effective for you. The human body's complicated. You never know what's going to happen. However, I would wager that my recommendations from a distance would be superior to those of a medical doctor up close and personal most of the time. However, your health responsibility is yours. It is not mine. So keep a weather eye to that storm. First person up to bat has a question about acne. 740. What protocols would you suggest for acne scars and behaviors like skin picking and hair twirling? Skin picking and hair twirling are symptoms of mineral deficiencies, as is a behavior called pica, which is where you're craving to eat strange things like chalk or dirt or pencils or, things like that. So usually that goes away with mineral supplementation. And we don't just give mineral supplementation, we give supplementation of all of the essential 90 essential nutrients, which include minerals. And when you take all 90 essential nutrients into your body, that's when things start to work the way that nature and God intended them to. So the recommendation here would be per month, 1 bottle of Tangy Tangerine 2.5 liquid, 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX liquid, 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals liquid, 1 bottle of Ultimate EFA at the 180 count. Plus eliminate the 12 bad foods. Now, you want to, somewhere on this website, there's a link for the 90 essential nutrients. You want to click on that. It will tell you how to get the nutritional supplements. I don't sell them, but they are sold by a network of independent distributors all around the world. You are advised to find the person who told you about me, because most likely they are a distributor of the products. And if you found me on your own, then purchase the supplements at eiffelhealth.com, Eiffel like the tower, health.com, eiffelhealth.com. And for acne scars, we do, I would add to this protocol glucogel at the 240 count, glucogel at the 240 count, and alternating applications of hot and cold to the face, hot towels, cold towels to the face. Start with hot, end with cold. Do a 15-minute session twice a day. Cold, hot towel, and then a cold towel, and then a hot towel, and then a cold towel, then a hot towel, and then a cold towel. 15 minutes twice a day if you can do it. Chicago's up next. 1010. It's Gracie. I can remember you saying an apple a day is all the fiber you need, but I was told that you need at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber. What's your view on that? They're wrong and I'm right, is my view on just about everything. United Kingdom's up next. Timestamp for United Kingdom, 10:30. It's Nate in Pasadena with a VPN. Nate. We like to watch cooking shows. We often hear fond is flavor and wow, beautiful char, which is flavor. Isn't fond and char burnt food? And isn't burnt stuff bad for us to eat? Yeah, well, so well done meat contains acrylamide, which is carcinogenic. Charred meat is just carbon. It's, burnt flesh. And I'm not sure about the acrylamide content in the char marks of the steak. I would have to reference that. But anyway, you want to do a web search for that. Are there acrylamides found in the char marks of steaks? I mean, one easy way to obviate that problem is just to cook if you're going to cook steaks on a grill, cook them in aluminum foil. That's right. I said aluminum foil. There is so much misinformation about aluminum in the world. It is not even funny. If aluminum was as big a problem as everybody says it is, every vegetarian in the world would have Alzheimer's disease because aluminum is the most abundant mineral in the freaking soil. Period. New subscriber. Boom. Let's give him a round of applause with sinusitis. Welcome aboard. Thanks for your trust and your support. Timestamp for the new subscriber, 12 minutes with a question about sinusitis. I've had chronic sinusitis and dehydration for the last 3 years. I thought it was due to dental work I put off. I had 2 teeth removed, but it still persists. I started on the cell salts. Good person. Natmure 6X along with the saline solution. You don't need the saline solution. The Natmure is way better than the saline solution. What more can be done? I also have weakness in my legs, numbness in my feet, and I can't bend my toes at times. Worse through the night, I take foot baths with Epsom salt, borax, taken the 90, ordered glucogel. I take large doses of benfotiamine and magnesium glycinate at night to calm them. Looking for your direction on what to do. You need to just give the protocol more time. Now, so remember, it's not a function of what you swallow, it's a function of what you absorb. And ultimately, when we do the generic health recovery protocols, which are 83% effective, then we get results. But we don't judge the protocol until we've given it at least 90 days. And you must be eliminating the 12 bad foods. If you're not doing this, then you'll swallow this many supplements, but you'll absorb this many, and it'll be 2 steps forward and 2 steps backward, and you won't get any progress. So you have to do both of these at the same time, and you have to give it at least 90 days before you judge it up or down. Okay? So you should also navigate to the sinusitis page because there's some nasal rinses that I recommend, and there's some other things that you can do to help facilitate the healing of the sinus cavities. But I think that all you need to do is give the protocol more time. And if you're doing this and this, then you don't need the extra magnesium and benfotiamine. I don't even know what that is, but you don't need it. This is all that you need. This is based on 36 years of clinical experience. I'm telling you, man. Okay? Plus the Natrum muriaticum 6X. I would do that 4 times a day. Natrum muriaticum 6X 4 times a day. You can rinse the nose with the saline solution. That's a good idea. But you want to be sucking on the Natrum muriaticum tablets. Okay? Okay. Come back and let us know what happens, please. I believe that time is your best friend. Minneapolis, Minnesota is up next, 1445. Thank you so much for reversing my excessive sleepiness 20 years ago at a seminar with you and Dr. Wallach in Hopkins, Minnesota. You're welcome. You said it was my blood sugar, and you were absolutely right. Boom. I love it when I'm right. But now my dad, who's 84, is interested in your advice. Okay. My dad's MD is saying he has chronic anemia with symptoms of memory loss, fatigue, and weakness. Also, vitamin B is at 110. He is new to naturopathic ways, so what dog should he take to the hunt? Well, he should take this dog to the hunt. And he should, I mean, this is common sense. He's been under the care of his medical doctor for his whole freaking life. He's been paying medical insurance premiums to gain access to MD directed medicine his whole freaking life, and look where it's left him. This is what I was alluding to in my beginning monologue, that the MDs fail all the time, but people keep going back to them. So while he has been under the tutelage and the care and paying handily for it every month of his medical doctor, he got sick. And he wants to go to the medical doctor for their advice? That doesn't make any sense to me, but it makes perfect sense because of the culture that we live inside of. For goodness sakes, people get cancer while they're under the care of their medical doctor, and then the treatment for cancer kills them. And then their grief-stricken relatives organize a 5K run, raise 10 grand, and give it to the medical professional under whose care they got cancer in the first place, and then their loved one died. I'm telling you, it's Stockholm Syndrome. It's a variant of Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome being where you develop feelings of affection for your oppressors. So what does your father do? So per month, 1 Tangy Tangerine 2.5, 2 Osteo FX, 2 plant-derived minerals, 1 Ultimate EFA, and 1 B complex, so de-stress, 1 bottle of de-stress, D like David's dress, 1 bottle of de-stress per month. For 90 days, don't eat any of these foods. Stop taking any statin drugs. Make sure he salts his food so that it tastes good and eats a diet high in cholesterol. Okay? Tell his medical doctor to go shove it right up his rear end. I'm in a mood tonight, folks. If you'd have had the day that I had, you'd be in a mood too. 1725 next for Stuart in the United States. This past Thursday, I wrote about a rash on my hands, which was exacerbated by heat and water, but that sulfur at the 30C potency had not really helped. The rash was slightly different depending on the location on my hands. Some areas looked like I scraped the skin raw, and other areas it looked like circular patches. I suggested Kali Carb 3 times a day, Hepar sulfurous calcarea as a backup remedy. By the end of the 3rd day on the Kali, the rash had almost cleared completely. Boom. But I think I stopped too soon. I switched to Hepar sulfurous and things got worse. I'm now on another 2-day round of Kali. My questions are, even though I had a full 3 days on Kali, did I stop too soon? Well, that doesn't matter. If Kali carbonicum was the curative remedy, then when you resume it, it will just pick up where it left off. However, you can habituate to the potency. So whatever potency you've taken Kali carbonicum 30, I would get Kali carbonicum at the 200C potency or 200 CK potency, and I would use that instead of the 30C. I would take 2 pellets of the 200C once a day until it's gone, or until you develop an aggravation. And that either way, you get an aggravation, you stop, it's completely gone, you stop. Kali carbonicum 200C. Yes, you should stay on the remedy until you're completely 100% out of the woods, okay? Could you please explain if there ever is a situation where a problem is layered and may require 2 different remedies? That will happen, but you never give 2 remedies at the same time. You know, for instance, if I'm helping somebody with anxiety and depression, they might need 1 remedy for 3 months and then the symptoms change, and then they need a different remedy and then the symptoms change, and then we're good. But we never give 2 remedies at the same time unless there's been trauma. If there's been big bad trauma to the body, you can give 2 remedies at the same time, but that's the only exception to that rule. Okay. Unknown with a question about Staphylococcus aureus in 1945. I tried Staphylococcus aureus for 5 days for a senior spayed female dog urinary incontinence Flute, the sheepdog, still floods. Note to rescue groups. We need our hormones. P.S. from Moof Vanderdog. I fired my cardiologist. Good girl. So, yeah. So there might be something else we can do. I'm not a veterinarian, and this is way outside of my ballpark, but I don't care. Um, we can always try something else. Hold on. Hold on, kiddo. No, I do not have it in my little animal book. I do not have it in my little animal book. Try Arsenicum album. Arsenicum album. Arsenicum album in the 30C potency. Arsenicum album in the 30C. There's no reason to keep a cardiologist on board. They have no idea how the human heart works. Connecticut, first timer. Boom. All right, we got another new subscriber. I don't know what I did, but I'm liking it. 21 minutes and 31 seconds. First timer, usually in Europe and can't join live. Okay. Well, we do Thursdays in the mornings, Central Time, at 11 a.m. Central Time, which would be 5 p.m. in Europe. That's one of the reasons I do the Thursday events. Okay. So just be advised. My 84-year-old mom has chronic low back pain from a combo of scoliosis, stenosis, arthritis. In addition to starting the foundation, first timer, okay. What else might address her low back pain? Also wondering how much of the osteo liquid gets absorbed since it's very gritty and chalky. Okay, so that's an excellent question. Here's what you need to do when you get the OsteoFX. Okay, you open it up, you pour a little bit of it off into a glass, you set it aside. You get a long, skinny wooden spoon or rubber spatula and you stick it in the bottle of the OsteoFX. You scrape it around the side and the bottom. Scrape, 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 scrape. Then you take it out, you put the top back on the OsteoFX, and you shake the heck out of it for a good minute. You shake, 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 shake. Just keep shaking. You're not going to want to keep shaking. You keep shaking. You shake, 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 shake. Okay? Until a minute goes by, then you're done. Then you pour back into it what you poured off. Use a funnel if you need to. And then you stick it in the refrigerator upside down. And before each dose, you shake the hell out of it. Shake, 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 and you pour it off. And that supplement is thick. It's like paint. And that's one of the reasons that it is so unbelievably effective. It is the most effective calcium supplement I've seen in 36 years. And there is no workaround for that. You just have to do a little manual labor to get everything into solution, and then you're good to go. Okay? Okay, so for your mother, give her this, please. Calcarea florica in the 30C potency. Calcarea florica in the 30C potency. Have her take 2 pellets twice a day for 14 days. 2 pellets twice a day for 14 days. Then get back to me and tell me what happened. Okay? All right. Welcome aboard. Florida Keys is in the house. Peter I like your name, Peter. Peter from the Florida Keys, 2424. In the morning, I take a total of 10 different supplements. At noon, I take 3, and again at night, I repeat the 10 as in the morning. This is the essentials plus a variety of other longevity. Somehow, I don't think what I'm doing is correct. No, it's not. This is all that you need. You need these 4 supplements, period, to begin with. You might need 1 or 2 extras on top of this, depending on what your situation is. But for all around health, and strengthening of the human body, this is it. This is it. One bottle of each of these per month. You don't need anything else unless you've been given a diagnosis. And then you navigate to the health recovery protocols section of my website. You look to see what to take in addition to this. Stuff is magic. We've given these protocols, which are outlined in the health recovery protocol section of this website, to over 10,000 people, 83% of whom recovered. No private appointment necessary. Okay, so trust me, stick with this and this. If you're not doing this, then don't do this because you're wasting your freaking money. This is a package deal. Okay? And you are absolutely correct, Peter. Welcome aboard and best of luck. Do not get eaten by an alligator. What hard direct evidence is there that gluten destroys villi? Has this been observed under a microscope? Wallach observed it when he did 10,000 autopsies. When Dr. Wallach was in charge of the $25 million research project, with the results of which are now in the Smithsonian, he did over 10,000 autopsies. And that's when he discovered that the villi were destroyed. All right. And I mean, all you have to do to prove it to yourself is don't eat any gluten at all for 6 months. And then on 6 months, and then for the week after 6 months is up, just eat gluten for 7 days and see how you feel. Smith's Creek is up next. Timestamp for Smith's Creek, 2650. Doc G, it's Kevin from Chikinchikachukchuk, our Huron brother. My question is, how does the CVA drops work? Thanks for your incredible teaching. I have no idea. Oh, the CVA drops that are sold by Monzo? Is that what you're talking about? Hold on. Yes, the CVA drops. So it works homeopathically. It's actually an isopathic remedy. It is a homeopathic preparation developed in a very unique way to combat the COVID jabs. And it works in an isopathic manner to neutralize the net negatives from those shots. Okay? That's as much as I can say in a public chat room. It's a good question, by the way. Okay, Hope is up next. Timestamp for Hope, 28 minutes. Thank you for your help with my urinary tract infection. Should I take the silver on a daily basis or just when I think coming on? Does the silver help with the flu or just with bacteria? There's no such thing as the flu. I do not believe the flu virus is a real thing. I mean, Bigfoot might be a real thing, but it's never been proven to exist. The influenza virus has never been proven to exist. It has become reality by consensus, propped up by medical monopoly, which is self-regulating and self-policing, and the adherents of which do not criticize the mainstream narrative, as was evidenced big time during COVID. If you did not lose all trust in your medical doctor during COVID, then there is seriously something wrong with you. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about the you generally. Okay? No, you don't need the silver on a daily basis. You know, you take it until the UTI goes away, and then I would take it for 3 extra days, and then I would stop. Yeah, so we use the colloidal silver as an antibacterial. I'm allergic to bees, and so is my grandma. My daughter swells up when she gets a bite, and the swelling lasts for a week or so. Should she carry an EpiPen, or is there something else that you recommend? Well, there is a homeopathic medicine made from bee venom, which may be helpful. It is called Apis mellifica. You may want to carry some Apis mellifica in the 30C potency around, and if she does get bitten, give her 2 pellets orally every 2 hours for 24 hours. And also, in order to extract poison from the body, you put your left hand on top of the bite and you put your right hand on top of it at a 90-degree angle. Left hand is on the bite. Right hand is on top of the left hand at a 90-degree angle. Leave it there for 20 minutes. It will help to suck the poison right out of your body, whether it's a bug bite or a scorpion bite or a snake bite, doesn't matter. Okay? Left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top at a 90-degree angle. You don't even have to be touching the skin. You can be like a couple of millimeters away from the skin. And also, if you're trying to keep something in the body like blood, right hand is on the bottom, left hand is on top. Right hand remain, left hand leave. Right hand remain, left hand leave. The opposite hand is on top at a 90-degree angle. Okay? Okay, very good. They just made there are lots of lawsuits out against the EpiPen now. So let the buyer beware. They came up with an inhalable version of the EpiPen, but I don't know what its clinical track record is. Okay? Okay, very good. Larry from Casa Grande, 3131. I'm recovering from dental surgery. Is there anything you recommend for pain? Yes, sir. You want to do this? Hypericum perforatum, Larry, get it in the 1M potency. Now, if you're lucky enough to live near a vitamin shop or a health food store, they will have this in the 30C potency. So you want to get that so you can start taking it immediately, but you want to order the 1M potency. All right, take 2 pellets 3 times a day, or 2 pellets every 4 hours, 2 pellets every 3 hours until the pain is gone. 2 pellets every 3 hours until the pain is gone. Okay? Okay, very good. Glad you showed up. John from Nebraska, what's going on, John? 32 minutes and let's call it 32 seconds, 32. I noticed you've been recommending the Ultimate EFA. Has something changed with the Prohoba? Yeah, the guy that manufactured it died. And then Longevity screwed with the formula, or they got a different manufacturer, and it hasn't been the same at all. So what we're seeing work clinically is a combination of the Ultimate EFAs plus the EFA Plus. 1 bottle of Ultimate EFAs, 1 bottle of EFA Plus. We're seeing that give the most positive clinical results. I was looking at the cataract treatment on the website. How effective is this treatment? I don't know. It's this experimental treatment. I think it has about a 25% success rate. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. I would do it. What do you have to lose? Right? I mean, it's not going to hurt you. Someone's trying to get in touch with me. Yeah, so I'm going back and forth with a colleague of mine who I have a great deal of respect for. He was the past academic dean of the best naturopathic medical school in the world. His name is Jared Zeff, and he works out of Vancouver, Washington. He's a very talented homeopathic physician, naturopathic doctor, one of the grandfathers of the profession. All right. And we're going back and forth now, he and I, about what's happening at Bastyr University, which is where I went to naturopathic medical school, which was the flagship of naturopathic medicine for a long time. And now they're down the tubes. And I don't think that they are actually going to practice or teach naturopathic medicine. They're going to continue to teach this weird functional medicine, green allopathic BS, and they'll go into bankruptcy again. But that has nothing to do with this Q&A. It just came across my board while I was answering these questions. Okay. So I would try the cataract protocol. You got nothing to lose, man. Okay. Okay. Hi, Dr. Glidden. This is my annual checkup in January. Blood work came back showing I have a B12 deficiency. Timestamp for this question 3515. My doctor said I'm not absorbing B12 and she gave me intrinsic B12. If you weren't absorbing B12, you'd be dead. Is there an explanation why I have this deficiency? Yes. I asked my doctor if it's something I'm eating or not eating, but she couldn't give me an explanation except that I was born with it. So if you were born with it, then why has it taken so long to develop? Your medical doctor has had no training, no experience, has no respect, no appreciation for medical nutrition. I doubt they could name one journal of medical nutrition, and I doubt that they've ever been to a medical nutrition convention. It should be illegal for a medical doctor to say the word vitamin in a clinical setting because they have no training in it whatsoever. I mean, if you went to a really good chiropractor, and I love chiropractors, I think a good chiropractor is worth their weight in gold, but you would not go to a chiropractor for open heart surgery. Nor would you take the advice of a chiropractor about open heart surgery because they don't know anything about it, right? Medical doctors don't know anything about medical nutrition at all. And yet they have no problem opening their mouth and giving people advice about it. It should be illegal. If you have a B12 deficiency, it's got little to do with B12 and everything to do with the other 90 essential nutrients because there are a total of 90 nutrients that your body needs. B12 is one of them, and it's like an orchestra of interconnected parts. So you don't need B12, you need the other 89 essential nutrients. And then the B12 will start to be absorbed. It's usually as simple as that. I stopped taking the intrinsic B12 when I started the 90. Do I still need to take it? No, I would double the 90. I would double the 90. And make sure you've eliminated these. Make sure you've eliminated these. If you haven't eliminated these, we're pissing into the wind. Right? So what I would do is double down on the 90. Take twice as much of the 90 as you're already taking. And that will probably seal the deal. Okay? Okay, very good. Do mercury fillings eventually off-gas the mercury toxin? Yeah, it takes about 6 months. Do root canals have infections in them because they're dead tissue? Sometimes. I do not think the root canal scare is as bad of a scare as most people think that it is. I am in the minority of that thought process. However, I would listen to me. I do not think that root canals are a giant cause for concern. Right? And the mercury in a amalgam filling has off-gas after about 6 months, depending on the size of it. Okay. Fort Lauderdale's up next. Hope, the question with the bee sting. You're the bee sting person. I need you to close the Ask Dr. Glidden a question box, please. Okay. Dr. G, can you give me advice about oxalate toxicity? I don't know. The timestamp for this question is 3830. I have a lot of crystals in my skin causing burning and itching. I've started to renutrify myself. I'm monitoring, controlling the oxalates in my diet. You don't have an oxalate problem because you're eating oxalates in your diet. You have an oxalate problem because your kidneys are funky. So you need a kidney recovery protocol. So I would go to the health recovery protocols. Um, you know what? Let me go to the website right now and see where I would send you. I've got so much information on the website, I forget where I put things. I mean, have you seen the website? Okay, let's go to health recovery protocols first, see what I have. I don't have it there. Okay, let's go to medical insight. Please go to medical insight. Well, I don't have it there either. Well, what shall we do? Okay. So here's what I want you to do. You ready? All right. Per month, I want you to get 3 bottles of the Good Herbs Kidney and Bladder Support. 3 bottles of the Good Herbs Kidney and Bladder Support. 3 bottles of the Good Herbs Heart Support. And 3 bottles of the Good Herbs Circulatory Support. 3 bottles of each. Right? Let me write this down for you. I don't know why it's not on the website. So it's the kidney and bladder support from the Good Herbs. It is the heart support from the Good Herbs, and it is the circulatory support from the Good Herbs. 3 bottles of each. Right? You take 4 mLs of each. There's a milliliter dropper in each of them. You fill it up to the 1 milliliter line 4 times. 4 milliliters of the kidney and bladder mixed with 4 milliliters of the heart, mixed with 4 milliliters of the circulatory support, and you shoot it down like a shot of tequila 3 times a day. You do that for 90 days. On top of the 90 essential nutrients, and don't even look at the 12 bad foods. Okay? I wouldn't. Homeopathic medicine may help, but you need to get your kidneys back on track. Now, I would also navigate to the new information page, Scroll down there, you'll see a download for hydrotherapy at home, and do the hydrotherapy to the abdomen and the back at least 3 times a week. Do the hydrotherapy to the abdomen and the back at least 3 times a week. That should fix the problem inside of 90 days. Okay? Okay, very good. You can continue to avoid oxalates until the kidneys come around. Barbados is up next. Timestamp for Barbados 4220. My son has a lot of acne on his face. It looks like cystic acne. He's been using minoxidil, and the acne has appeared in the same areas where he applied the minoxidil. However, I'm not sure if it's causing it. It's causing it. What can he do to get rid of the cystic acne? Is stop using the minoxidil. I don't know what to tell you. The minoxidil caused it, so he needs to stop the minoxidil, period. It's a really bad drug anyway. 4255 is up next. Can be. Following a conversation with a friend who has some arterial blockage, I asked Grok what foods are processed by using chlorine. Grok came back with a lengthy, scary response. In brief, it includes numerous items in each of the following categories: poultry, meat, produce, seafood, dairy products, processed and packaged foods. It went on to say that the FDA and the U.S. Department of Agriculture deemed 200 parts per million to be safe. Anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Well, that's really interesting. I never would have thought to do that, Ken. And Ken's saying this because chlorine has been clinically verified. It's academic that chlorine causes atherosclerotic plaque to build up in blood vessels. Chlorine causes atherosclerotic plaque to build up in blood vessels. Let me say it one more time. Chlorine causes, the ingestion of chlorine causes atherosclerotic plaque to build up in blood vessels. And guess what everybody in the world has? Clogged arteries. And what do the medical doctors do? Put people on statin drugs, which have nothing to do with the genesis of the atherosclerotic plaque. But it makes people go nuts. It makes parents forget who their kids are. Is there any more evil drug than that? To make a parent forget who their child is while they're alive? And I'm the quack? Fire your medical doctor immediately. Cancel your medical insurance premiums and use that money instead to buy your nutritional supplements and to educate yourself about alternatives which are science-based, clinically verified, and consistent with the human physiology and ontology. Human ontology is a better phrase. Good evening. I just became a member. Somebody said we got a new member again. Well, I don't know what I did. Was it Mike Adams? Might have been Mike Adams. Thank God for Mike Adams. Welcome aboard, new member. I appreciate your support from Alamogordo. Very, very, very good. Okay. You know, I want to say this about Grok. Grok is only able to give information based on the data that Grok has available to it. So if you ask Grok about homeopathy, it will tell you lies about homeopathy because that's what the published data says. It's all lies about homeopathy. So that's what Grok will come back with. You should ask Grok if God exists and see what Grok has to say about that. That might help you to get in perspective. Let me ask Grok right now. Hey, Grok, is God real? Grok, does God exist? Grok, does God exist? As an AI, I don't have personal beliefs or experiences, so I can't lean one way or another. My role is to lay out the reasoning and let you decide. The universe's complexities and mysteries, like why there's something rather than nothing, can inspire awe, blah, blah, blah. If you want, I can dig deeper into a specific argument, analyze a relevant source. So Grok isn't taking a stand on that, which I find amazing. Let's ask Grok about homeopathy. Grok, is homeopathic medicine clinically effective? The clinical effectiveness of homeopathic medicine is a highly debated topic, with significant evidence suggesting it is not effective beyond a placebo effect. I rest my case. Apparently, Grok does not have access to homeopathic medical journals. So there's that. Doc, I'm just curious if you were given the okay to share the 2-hour dental presentation. I'm 75% of the way there. It's a bureaucracy. And so the answer is I am 95% sure I will be given access to it. But I haven't been given access to it yet. I might have access to it tomorrow. As soon as I get it, I will let you know. Okay. Okay. Okay, we have a question about an infection in the gums, 4820. I was told I have an infection in my gums from 4 old root canals and need teeth pulled to get to the infection. My friend had an infection in a cracked tooth that went into her brain. She's been in a coma for some time now. I doubt it was the infection that caused the coma. Could have been. But I mean, if that were true, then everybody who's ever had a root canal would be in a coma. And they're not, right? Okay. So you want to go to see this guy? Oh, what is his name? I have a colleague in Arizona who's a holistic dentist. He's also a naturopathic physician. And you should go to see him before you have anything dramatically drastic done to your teeth. His name is, why can't I remember his name? I'll think of his name before the end of today's topic. In the meanwhile, I would get colloidal silver, Argentin 23 colloidal silver. Okay. Hold on. Argentin 23 colloidal silver. I would put 2 teaspoons into an ounce of water, and I would swish it around in my mouth 6 times a day. 2 teaspoons into an ounce of water, swish it around in my mouth 6 times a day. Get 2 Killer Biotic. Get a bottle of a product called Killer Biotic from Youngevity. Take 2 3 times a day. 2 Killer Biotic 3 times a day. While you're waiting to go to the dentist, whose name I'm struggling to remember right now. Okay? It's going to pop in my head in just a minute. All right? Boca Raton is up next. Is this the real Boca? Yeah, I think so. 51 minutes. I just returned from a cruise, which was super fun, but the last 2 days I came down with a sinus infection. I had a bad cold 2 weeks prior to the trip, and now I'm down with it again. Any suggestions with homeopathic medicine? I took the on-the-go pack while on the boat. Yeah, that's a problem, right? So what I would do, the go-to for sinusitis is calibicromicum. Calibicromicum 30C, 2 pellets 4 times a day. Do the nasopure rinse. Do 2 Killer Biotic 3 times a day. 2 Killer Biotic 3 times a day. Okay. Glad you had fun. He stopped using the minoxidil, but he still has the acne. What can he put on the acne topically and orally? The Argentin 23 colloidal silver topically is very helpful. Argentin 23 colloidal silver topically. And Killer Biotic. All right, 2 Killer Biotic 3 times a day for the until it's gone. 2 Killer Biotic 3 times a day. And the dentist's name is it's a curious name. He has a curious name. What is the name of the naturopathic dentist that gave the presentation at the last Vital Gathering? Hold on, I'm phoning a friend. Okay. I'll have his name for you in just a second. And then I will have his phone number. He's in Scottsdale, Arizona. And if you have dental problems, you should go and see him exclusively. Okay. Okay, so while I am waiting for that response or waiting for my frontal cortex to calibrate and kick in, oh, it was just on the tip of my tongue. Okay, very good. I got it. It's Dixon Tom. I told you it was an unusual name. Dixon Tom. ND. And here is his phone number, his office phone number. Okay. There it is right there. Thank you very much. Perfect. Thanks so much. Okay. Okay. So what did we learn tonight? Number one, your medical doctor is only trained in a very small piece of the pie of all of medical thought and medical science. And the piece of the pie that they're trained in is very good for trauma care, surgery when it's absolutely necessary. That's the wheelhouse of the MD. That's where all of the advances in medicine have been made in the last 100 years. But for most of the conditions that most people go to the doctor for, most of the time, your medical doctor is the wrong dog for the hunt because they are not trained how to cure the human condition. They are not trained how to cure disease. They're trained to manage it, to kick the can down the road. So under their care, you get weaker and sicker and weaker and sicker, and then you go bankrupt and then you die. Oh, yeah, the leading cause of bankruptcy is MD-directed medical treatments, and the first or the third leading cause of death in the United States of America, depending on how you crunch the numbers, is MD-directed medical treatment. And it's not because they're sadistic people who look forward to human suffering. It's because they are small-brained acolytes of a medical system which does not allow them to think outside of its box. They are the poster children for cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias. They turn a blind eye to their failures because they're taught the best system of medicine in the world, and everything else is inferior to it. So just shut up and take your drugs and don't whine about the side effects, because it's the best you're going to get anywhere. And don't go to those naturopaths. Don't go to those Ayurveds. Don't go to those homeopaths. It's all quack medicine. It's non-scientific and it's not proven to be effective. It's just BS. That's their party line and they're wrong. Period. Hard stop. Fire your medical doctor immediately and seek out alternatives, which are science-based and clinically verified. Learn what to do to make your body healthy. Learn what to do to support and promote your body's built-in, God-given, I'll say it again, God-given ability to fix itself. Ours is not a perfect system of medicine, but it is way better than what the medical doctors bring to the table, which quite frankly is childish, juvenile, dangerous, and expensive. I am now and always will be, God willing and the creek don't rise, your steadfast advocate for naturopathic medicine, curative medical therapeutics, and above all, medical freedom, which we desperately need. Hello, Bobby Kennedy, and it is the only solution to the chronic disease epidemic. I'll see you around campus.